Hello everyone, today I would like to tell you a short talk on request. First, the speaker announced a next stop was Greenwich and he suggested remaining seated and not standing off until the train had stopped completely at the station because that were for their safety. Next, he suggested checking around their seats to make sure they had left nothing behind. Finally, he thanked them for riding the commuter rail service and have a pleasant trip. First, the speaker introduced their voicemail and he said he was either away from his desk or out of the office. Next, he suggested press one to speak with his assistant if they would like to make an appointment. After that, he said he suggested waiting for the beep and leaving a message. Finally, he promised to return their call as soon as he could. Number 3. First, the speaker announced Flight 15 was ready for boarding, and she suggested on passengers lining up at the gate and having their boarding pass ready to show to the flight attendant. Next, she suggested telling to flight attendant if they were traveling with small children or needed special assistance boarding the plane. After that, he said if their carry-on bags were too large, they could be asked to check them. Finally, she announced that were non-smoking flights. First, the speaker announced a traffic accident downtown was causing major delays on several main roads. Next, he suggested drivers avoiding North State Street and use Constitution Avenue instead if they had to travel downtown. After that, he reminded them, even them on Constitution Avenue they might still experience some delays. Finally, he said officials expected the delays to last several hours. First, the speaker welcomed to the theater and she introduced that night's performance was the opening show of the 25th season. Next, he suggested members of the audience turning off on cell phones, patches, and recording device before the show begins as the courtesy to those around them. After that, he suggested not using cameras, include video or digital cameras, while the actors were on the stage. Finally, he said information on upcoming shows was available in the lobby. First, the speaker said Springfield has been struck by a hurricane the week before that had left millions of dollars of property damage in its wake. Next, he said thousands of people had been left homeless and could expect to spend several weeks living in shelters. After that, he said the city was seeking donations of food and clothing for hurricane victims. Finally, he suggested sending their donations to the Springfield Rescue Committee if they would like to help. First, the speaker introduced Mrs. Jackson, who had just joined their staff as the news manager's assistant. Next, he suggested all members helping her on during her first few days there, as she learned their office routines. Finally, She appreciated their cooperation in the help her feel welcome to their office. First, the speaker got the staff's attention, and he announced the fire alarm system was being tested that morning, and so they could hear the alarm went off several times in the course of the morning. Ned, he said, when they hear the alarm, he suggested remaining calm, and there was no need to leave the building or to avoid using elevator. Finally, he suggested continuing with their usual routine and thanked them for patience. First, the speaker thanked the people for calling cutaway computers, and he said they valued their call. Next, he said all of their lives were busy then, and she suggested hanging off and dialing the telephone numbers if they wanted to reach technical support. After that, he suggested staying on the line if they wish to speak to a customer service representative, and their call will be answered in turn. Finally, he said there were a wait of 5 minutes. First, the speaker wanted to know if the driver of white car that were parked were near the back entrance. He suggested moving their car because they were parked illegally. Ned, he said, he suggested moving their car immediately or it would be ticketed and towed. After that, he suggested parking in the visitor parking areas that were located near the front of the building. Finally, he said the parking area by the back entrance were for delivery vehicle only. Thank you for listening.